creating a space, that's the first thing I think that happens. There's a certain emptiness or openness, blankness, blank canvas, new document, space, a clean table. It's just an openness, but there are boundaries, you know. I've set up a perimeter. When I create a new document, I will set my document size. I'll create some boundaries for myself. And then, when I have those boundaries, I feel like I know the space that I'm working in. Is the space, what do I need to fill? And then I can start thinking about what I need to put in the box. I just need to build the box first. I think it's always easier to create something from nothing when you have that sort of there's a fixed structure that is rigid. It's the masculine side of the creative process. And then within that, there's this open, blank space. There's this void to be filled, which is sort of the feminine energy. And it's where, like, magic can happen. But if we don't have the rigidity of those boundaries, of the document size, of our space that we will be creating within, then there's nowhere for that more free-flowing creative energy to go. And I think when we can create those boxes, those boundaries, those structures, the platforms, the frameworks from which we can create, then we have these like fixed points to hang our ideas on. And so it takes both, right? I always used the word balance, but now thanks to a good friend of mine who brought to my awareness this amazing other word called equilibrium, because also they work together in this dance, this rigidity, this fixed structure, and this free-flowing, more abstract energy. Creative, they're both creative energies, and they both flow through us. They flow through our literal bodies. And I'm speaking some about my body as a trans person in these videos. I'm also speaking about my body from the point of view of human design, which is an amazing tool that I use in my personal life, in my professional life, in my daily existence for just navigating decision making, mostly, and for identifying feelings in my body, and for really giving me some sort of framework, some language to speak about my feelings, really. But I think it all comes back to the body, my human body, my physical vessel that I'm creating this life and from, you know, this is my unique perspective. And that's another amazing thing about human design is within that framework, our way of thinking, way of speaking, this language that it gives us, that it gifts us, there's this incredible understanding that emerges about yourself as a unique expression of creativity. And human design gave me that gift. It's something I always sort of intuitively knew, but when I could see the literal mechanics inside human design, I see people so differently now. Like, we're all these incredibly unique expressions. And now I really am focused on creating some tools to help people realize that about themselves and to channel some of the disruptive feelings that have a way of emerging in our lives. It's kind of like that free-flowing creative energy not having anywhere to go. And really, I think wild creating is about creating some some structure, some frameworks that you can start putting your frustrations, your anger, your all of this dissatisfaction, disruption, discomfort. That's what it is. And for me, it's always been a discomfort inside my body, like a literal discomfort. It's a it's this whole, in the trans community we call it dysphoria, and for me that's really what it is. It's an intense discomfort inside my body that started my whole transition path, and it was all in search of feeling better inside my body. I started following an authority inside my body and listening to my body, and it guided me to a place of more comfort. And it was really just this step-by-step navigation through decisions that were helping me feel better inside my body. And now it's continued in other decisions that I've had to make. The decision to quit my corporate job, I started making that decision from the same way, like listening to my body, and it was guiding me to make healthier decisions. The food that I eat currently, I mean, that's still a path that I'm on. I'm still like figuring out what feels good and what doesn't in my body. And I think it's a process, but human design gave me a way of navigating those feelings and like really getting in touch with my physical body. But I think it took me a while to be ready for it. I think in my last video I talked about how before I transitioned, I hated being in my body and I disconnected physically from it a lot. I really did not want to be here inside this body, that old body that was such, that I felt so much discomfort in. And and until I started feeling easier in my body and stuff, and until I started feeling more at home in my physical body, I could not meet human design properly. I mean, I could not fully meet human design and really identify those feelings inside my body because I wasn't there. I was not present in my skin. I was somewhere else. And then as I transitioned and I slowly started feeling more comfortable in my body, I was able to notice my body in a whole new way. And that awareness opened so many doors for just language, having some language to put with things that I was feeling. And it's so layered, and I'm so enjoying speaking about it. And this is new for me, like speaking about some of this stuff. I've written about it, I have contemplated it, but now I'm actually like using my voice and speaking, and it's rusty. It feels like I can physically feel it. There's a tightness in my throat. I feel mucusy, and it could be allergies because I'm out here on a beautiful spring day. And but this is a muscle I've got to practice, and that's what these videos are. So thank you for being here, and more soon.